Last lap of the morning crossfire today. I'm Sheriff Quadry. You can watch live right now on YouTube and Facebook. We started a conversation earlier this morning at 5 a.m. and we're talking about. Lagos is calling me already. Just hold on. For those that are just tuning in, let's carry everybody along so that they can know exactly what we're talking about. We started a conversation this morning about the act of kindness dying away in our society. Doing good, dying away, disappearing in our society of today. Back in the day, you don't want to know what's happening. Whatever you're doing, you always have your neighbor at the back of your mind. If you're spending, if you're buying, if you're earning, whatever it is you're doing, you're reserving some for your neighbor that you know that doesn't have as much as you do. The community trains a child together back then. We know ourselves better back then. We take care of ourselves better back then. There was little concentration. There was little or no emphasis on government. It was us. We were the ones taking care of ourselves back then. We didn't have much. Nobody was that rich back then. But the little that we had, we're able to share amongst ourselves. We appreciated ourselves better. We took care of ourselves. We were our brother's keepers back then. But look around you today. You don't even have to look much. If you had been listening from 5 a.m., you would have heard experiences after experiences. Why people stopped helping, why people stopped giving alms. Someone sent a message in and he said that he helped someone paid for hospital bill. And the person was told to return his money because he was trying to steal the child's destiny. Where did the kindness go? Where did the act of kindness go? Where is the goodness in? We are good people. Listen, let's drop politics out of this conversation. We did it at 5 a.m., so we can do it again. Let's drop other sentiments out of this conversation. This is a conversation that we don't usually have. We don't have these kind of conversations enough. And we should have more of these conversations, these kinds of conversations. We should have them because it wakes up who we are. This is not who we are. This right here is not who we are. Nigeria Info currently is honoring 9 everyday Nigerians. A Nigerian just like you or me. She doesn't have much. He's barely surviving. But he's helping others with the little he's got. We have Ayomba in Aja at the road that is fixing the roads there with his personal money, directing traffic there with his strength, helping others on that axis. We have Kafayat, who is visually impaired, taking over 50 court cases pro bono, free of charge. She couldn't even see. She's blind. She doesn't collect a dime. She's a lawyer, and she's helping others, take on their cases in court because they couldn't afford one. We have a man in a community, Reverend Bath, who is taking care of his community with support of others as well. But he's taking the lead, helping his community grow, fostering peace in his community. And we have other Nigerians like that. But before, it wasn't such a big deal before. It was something that we normally and naturally just do. We were raised that way, to give, to help others, to assist others. What happened? What really happened? This is exactly how we have neglected other things that have gone bad today. So we just woke up one day and we found out that, this is a problem. But that thing had always been a problem. Gradually, nobody paid attention to it. Imagine if we didn't have any act of kindness again in our society today. What do you think the society would turn? Maybe we don't. Yes, we do have a few people, but these few people, they're so insignificant to the number of people that we have. But then we are good people. 0700 993 993 993. I asked in the morning, I will ask again. If you're the type that usually helps others, but you stopped, I want to know why you stopped. If you're still doing it, I want to know, what keeps you going. If you've been victimized before, because that is what we do best. We victimize ourselves, even those that are genuinely willing to help. 0700 993 993 993. That is 0700 993 993 993. That's our studio line this morning. I'm going to go to the phone line, and you've got, say, 2 minutes to share your story with me, all right? Chukwudi is here with us. Chukwudi, a very lovely morning to you.
Hello, good morning, Mr.
Good morning
Sheriff.
to you, Chukwudi.
Yeah, thank God for you. I've gotten you to the well.
It's good to have you.
You see, this topic you are talking about, if you have the gift of giving, you will not be tired. I will not look at what people do to you.
I'm with you, Chukwudi.
Because what do I mean by this? I was sick. I went to General Hospital in Isolo. On getting there was a woman that brought a dying child. And the doctor said unless they deposit a certain amount, they will not treat that child. You know that I left my own problem.
Okay.
I paid for that child's that amount they requested for.
Right.
And I didn't want that woman to see that it's somebody like me. I ran away from the hospital. I did that. Again, there was somebody who lost his job, and my neighbor, they were suffering.
Right.
I called him. I said, what do you like to do? I bought a Marwa when it was about almost 500,000. I bought it for him. I said, okay, every week be giving me, every day be giving me so amount of money. And my plan was that money would be giving me. I want to save it to set up his wife or something. You know that this guy disappointed me. He ran away with the Marwa. I didn't see him. Anytime I go there, the wife said he's not around. And that's the things. You see, people discourage you from helping others, but I'm not discouraged. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Chukwudi, for talking to me. I really do appreciate your time. I mean, Chukwudi said it aptly, correctly, spot on. Because even earlier in the morning today, I got about 3 or 4 calls who said that they used to help willingly, only to found out that those they were helping were actually mocking them. Moti Wine, Mugun, such names. So maybe we kill the kind of the act of kindness by our own. Well, yeah, some people, maybe not we, maybe some people, and it discouraged a lot of people. Yusuf is here. Yusuf, good morning to you.
Hello, good morning, sir.
Good morning to you.
Yes, sir. Actually, I appreciate the topic you are discussing now, sir. I am a youth and who think of, as a better Nigeria, not seeing it, but towards a better Nigeria. I have to be the president of my own unity that I will not mention. Okay. So I try my best to finance some projects even for my own personal money. I even have keloids in my neck, but I even did not, for me to operate that, it's only 25,000 naira. But I did not use the money for it. But I think that people that have voted for us as a youth, people are losing that hope that, youth are only there to embezzle.
Right.
So I want to change that. So it happens that in my institute, we are the first student union to construct a physical project. So at times I have to go home with care. At times I have to sleep without eating anything. So I even developed, also on trying to do those jobs. But later on, some group of people, the parliamentarians who think their own share, that is, they believe that whenever we are doing things, it should be their own share there. So they have to go and do some meetings that, no, we are going to victimize the government, we are going to do this, we are going to do that, trying to report to the management and trying to manipulate the situation. So, and when I see that if there is nothing I can do that could stop these people from achieving their aim,
okay,
rather than me to be there and to allow such things to happen, then I tender a resignation later. But before that, I tell them that before I became the president, the former president received over 1 million naira, but we did not see any project, we did not see any complaint.
Okay.
So, and the overhead student union will receive over 10 million naira. We did not see anything, we did not see any complaints. But we did not receive any amount from the school management, but from our own destiny that we strive to do this thing for the...
You were doing the best you could, but then nobody appreciated you.
At all. So it's now something that... so I am scared that there might be a lot of youth outside now that we want to, do the best for their country, for their society.
Right.
But the system, the people there,
right,
they will not allow them to achieve such thing. And
we sabotage the act of kindness ourselves.
Yes.
We sabotage it. You see, thank you for sharing your thought. I mean, these are the kind of stories that I've been hearing since 5 a.m. And I will not even try to lie. Those that started with us at 5 a.m. would attest to this. That we, the people, are killing this act ourselves. And I don't even know how that is possible. We need to wrap up this conversation right now in another 5 minutes or so. I just wanted us to, conclude on this before I take on my guest on the show today. Let me take 2 more calls. Let's see. Hello, good morning to you.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning. Your name is?
My name is Idi Isa. I'm trying to welcome the total commitment and enlightenment educating the masses. I appreciate that, especially Mr. Sharif.
Thank you.
And that Mr. Fashola, I don't know your name. Welcome to that very program. God bless.
Thank you, Said Isa. Thank you for calling me. Nigeria Info, good morning to you.
Yeah, good morning, Sheriff.
Good morning.
Yeah, my name is John.
Welcome, John.
And I'm calling you from Ogun State.
Good to have you.
Yes, you see, the topic you are indeed discussing this morning is affecting some of us here in Nigeria. But I believe whoever that is doing good out of his kindness must not relent to whatever he passed through on the way. You understand me? Well, that's how you get your own blessing as well. The more you give, the more blessing you get. If you keep listening to what people will say before you could help someone else,
right?
But I don't think to get to anywhere. That's just my advice.
If you've had bad experience, Jones, if you have bad experience before, if you've been victimized before, is it that easy to just say I will still continue doing good?
Almost everyone I've had bad experience. I have had before. Yes, I have had bad experience from someone as my friend. I had one in my own apartment. So I've had bad experience from him, but that was not stopping from doing some kind of good. Yeah, that's true.
Thank you for sharing this. It's very important. Good morning to you too. One more call, then I would bring up my guest. Hello, good morning to you.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning to you.
Reverend Bath.
Welcome, Reverend Bath. Oh, yeah, I just mentioned you, Reverend Bath. Yes. You are one of those few ones that have been doing great for your community. Tell us exactly what you've been doing for your community.
By the grace of God, I've been doing the little I can, and I never know that it's catching the eye of the public to the extent that even Nigeria, if has to award me, I feel great about that kind gesture. But keeping to this discussion, I want to say, if you have the spirit of giving, nothing will stop you from giving. Right. Because giving is a habit. You don't give because you have much. My own definition of being rich is not a man that has plenty of money in his account or plenty of houses in locations of the world.
Right.
To me, a rich man or a rich person is that individual that reaches out to the people, the less privileged, to the public, to the community, with the little or much that God has given to him or her. And you cannot do this without distraction. If there is no opposition, there will be no position. there was somebody I helped to pay. In fact, it was actually a policeman, policewoman.
Okay.
She was transferred from the south. She came down here. She visited our church one day. And while others were going, she refused going. She said she has nowhere to go. She just came into Lagos newly, and he has a little daughter. For 120,000. She promised she would give me. She didn't give me that money. There was a time after some months, I went to where I got the house for her because she was no longer coming to church. I was told that she had packed out. She did not even tell me. She went with the money. But that does not stop me from doing good. There's one son they do. Sorry to mention the name. I also helped him. His wife was he was just here roaming about. I helped him got a house. Promised he will pay me back. Even after paying for that house, Sunday somebody told me that they have given that house to another person. In order to secure that very house, I have to carry my children's curtain, their mattress, to put in that place in order to secure that very apartment for me.
Right.
I he's down to Lagos. The guy did not pay me till today. The next thing I'm hearing is a house that is not good, a house that is not progressive.
Oh my.
That's where he brought.
Oh
but
my.
it will not stop me from doing good. So if you have it inside of you, you will continue to do it, because to me, I want to be remembered for the problem I helped to solve in the society.
Reverend Bath, keep doing the great work that you've been doing, and we're glad to have associated ourselves with you. I didn't even know that you would call this morning, and I just randomly pick a call. Thank you, Reverend Bath, for calling. There you go, Lagos. Now, let's take a quick break, and then we'll be talking about World Sight Day. Today is World Sight Day, by the way. I'll be talking about how you can take care of your eyes, what you need to do to protect your vision. It's very important that you do that. It's a conversation one of those conversations that we don't even have enough still in our society of today. I have my guests already seated in the studio, and we'll be right back. Stay here on Nigeria Info. We're not done yet. No, we're not.
One station gives you great talk every day.
On the show yesterday, you spoke about the tariff hike, electricity tariff hike.
Yes.
I'm hearing news today that is being postponed till next year.
City of Lagos, did I say it yesterday? I am a prophet.
Hear the news and tell us your views.
Congratulations once again to Liverpool. Despite the disastrous outing they had tonight.
Your number one station for talk.
The WHO give a guideline for organizations, yes, to implement to reduce the spread of coronavirus in your group, in your companies. Here in N Group, we've done
99.3 Nigeria Info. Let's talk. This is Morning Crossfire on 99.3 Nigeria Info.
99.3 Nigeria Info. Yes, we're back here. Morning Crossfire today, Thursday 8. It's a loaded package. The whole idea, the entire idea is to bring some things into our consciousness, to awake some things in ourselves. Today on the show, we have been talking about the act of kindness in our society, how we're experiencing death of it. Just a handful of Nigerians, and we know that we're generally kind people, but for some weird reasons, we have relegated that practice to the background. Maybe due to some other reasons, but that's a conversation to be continued for another day. But for right now, let's talk more about the eyes. When was the last time you went for an eye check? Do you even know that it's very likely that you are losing your vision, but you have no idea? You're just saying that you're squinting to see, but what have you done? I have the Vice President of the Ophthalmological Society of Nigeria, Lagos State Branch, in the studio with me. Dr. Abiola Oyeleye is here. Dr. Abiola, good morning to you.
Good morning. Thanks for having me.
It's good to have you here, sir. Lagos, I would love for you to listen to this conversation very attentively, because there's a lot to take away from it, all right? There's a lot to take away from it. Dr. Abiola, let me start with the theme for this year's World Ophthalmology Society, which is, of course, Hope in Sight. What does it mean to you? Hope in Sight. And the site is SIGHT.
Thank you very much. First of all, let me start by saying the World Sight Day is celebrated every year on the second Thursday in October. Now, the World Sight Day idea started in the year 2000 when what we call the Sight First initiative of Lions Club. And since then, we've done an annual celebration. And this year's celebration, as you had rightly said, the theme is hope. Now, essentially, a lot of people are despondent when they have eye problems. And in the world, we have a massive problem with eyesight. There are 39 million people worldwide that are blind, and about another 237 million people with visual impairment. So it makes a total of about 276 million. And more than half, 55%, are women. Now, the striking figure is that 80% of this blindness is preventable. Now, if we can tackle this, it will give people hope that they've recovered their sight, or prevent people from going blind. So we're trying to raise awareness that sight is very, very important, and giving people sight is also equally as important, and preventing the sight from deteriorating.
What are those things that could be responsible, let me put it that way, for vision impairment?
Right. The biggest statistic is that about 1.1 billion people worldwide don't see things close up because they don't have appropriate glasses. 1.1 billion people worldwide because they don't have. That's the biggest statistics. Now,
Dr. Abiola, please hold your thought. Let's go on a short break. We'll be right back. We need to take this break right away. Stay here.
When you wake up.
Yourself or visit Bet.
This is Morning Crossfire on 99.3 Nigeria Info.
99.3 Nigeria Info, we're back. Apologies for the abrupt interruption. Let's continue from where we stopped. In case you're just joining us, you're welcome. Today is World Sight Day. It's commemorated every 8th of October every year. And I have the National Vice President of the Ophthalmological Society of Nigeria, Dr. Abiola Oyeloye, in the studio with me. Dr. Abiola, again, thank you for joining us on the show today. Before that break, we're talking about the causes, those factors that could be responsible for vision impairment.
Right, thank you. So the first thing I had mentioned was refractive errors. That's the need for glasses and not having them. The second thing I would say is cataracts. A cataract is the cloudiness of the natural lens in our eyes. We are all born with a lens in our eyes to help us focus. And as we grow older, the lens gets cloudy. And everybody will get cataracts at some stage.
Everybody?
Everybody, no exceptions. If you live long enough, it's just like saying you'll get gray hair when you grow old. Yes, if you live long enough, you'll get cataracts.
So nobody escapes this?
Nobody escapes it if we live long enough.
Okay.
There are other causes of cataracts, right? Some children are born with cataracts.
Oh.
Yes. Some children develop cataracts in early life. Some people, it's because of the medication we take that causes cataracts. Some people, you have some conditions that you have that predispose you to getting cataracts at an earlier age. But as we grow older, like I said, we'll all develop cataracts. Now, the fact that you have a cataract doesn't mean you need to take the cataract out. It doesn't mean surgery.
Okay.
And like I said, it's just an age change.
All right.
The first thing we try and do is see if we can still help you with getting appropriate glasses. When it gets to a state that glasses don't help and your lifestyle is affected, then we recommend surgery. And for a 20 to 30 minute procedure, your vision can be restored. So cataract is the number one cause of visual impairment in our society, and it is completely reversible.
Completely
reversible.
At what point can it be taken care of?
If you have surgery, and then you take, and cataract is the only problem in the eye, you'll regain your vision. There are other things that could affect it, which we call comorbidity. So if you have more than one condition, you have 2 or 3 conditions in your eye, then your vision may not be fully restored. But if it's simply due to cataracts, your vision will be restored.
So at this point, it means that the cataract has not gone beyond that stage that is irreparable, or once you have surgery, it can be corrected no matter how.
Yes, once you have surgery, it can be corrected. The longer you leave it, the more difficult surgery is.
Oh, okay.
If you leave it until you're completely blind or you can't see at all, it makes surgery more difficult. However, once surgery is done and if it's successful, you restore your vision.
Okay, so that's cataract. What are other factors?
Number 2 is glaucoma. Glaucoma is the number 2 cause of blindness. It is irreversible. So blindness from glaucoma is irreversible.
It's permanent.
Permanent. However...
What causes it, though?
Yeah, okay. Glaucoma basically is caused by the pressure in the eye damaging the optic nerve. The optic nerve is the structure that takes information, what we see in the eye, to the brain for interpretation. So the eye sees, it sends it through the optic nerve to the brain, and the brain interprets. If the messenger, that's the optic nerve, is not functioning well, then you won't get a good message going to the brain, or you won't get any message at all going to the brain. Yes. So in glaucoma, the optic nerve is damaged, usually by the pressure in the eye.
And the nerve can't be replaced through surgery.
Yes, that's right. The nerve cannot be regenerated. The medical science at the moment, we do not regenerate any nerves. I think the easiest way to describe it is if you see children around or people around with polio, when they have paralysis and the limb seems to have shrunken, but in actual fact it hasn't grown. Yes, the nerve was damaged there. Yes. So basically in glaucoma, we cannot reverse it. However, we can treat it and try to prevent it from getting worse.
Okay.
Yes. Okay. So in terms of glaucoma, early detection is the key. Glaucoma is called the silent thief of sight because you could lose most of your vision or even all of the vision in one eye without realizing you have glaucoma. You have no symptoms whatsoever. And that's the importance of having a sight test.
Right.
You don't have symptoms.
How often should someone go for sight test?
Okay. Depends on the age and quite a lot of factors. The first sight test we should have is when we are born. When the midwife or the doctors look at our eyes, make sure the eyes are open, check if there's any discharge. That is a sight test.
Okay.
So that's the first sight test.
Okay.
Then we advocate before a child starts any level of education. So before primary school is started, have your eyes checked. Before secondary school, have your eyes checked. Before university, have your eyes checked. If you have any problem between the intervals, still have the eyes checked. As an adult, we say every 2 years if there is no problem.
Okay.
However, like I had stressed on glaucoma being a terrible disease, if you have a family history of glaucoma and you are African or of African extraction, then the age to start having regular eye tests is 30 years.
30.
If you're,
it doesn't matter whether you're a male or a female. 30.
No, 30. But if you're Caucasian, the advice is 40 years.
Okay.
Because glaucoma is more severe and more difficult to handle in blacks. However, like I had said before, you can get glaucoma at any age. So some people have juvenile onset glaucoma, and before the age of 30, they are completely blind. Yes. So I'm not saying 30 is the golden number.
Right.
I'm just saying you must be aware of this. And I think in our society, the biggest thing is awareness. And that's the importance of having days like the World Sight Day.
Right.
There's also a World Glaucoma Week in March, which is a whole week of advocacy for glaucoma.
I want to stay with you on glaucoma a bit longer. You said that there are medications. These medications, do they slow it down or they stop it from advancing?
Okay. Now, there are 3 modalities of treatment. The first is medication.
Okay.
The second is laser. The third is surgery. In the past, we used to go in that order. Medication, laser is relatively new, and then we do surgery.
Okay.
But now it's been shown that you could go, depending on how the patient presents.
Okay.
You look at each person case by case and decide what the appropriate treatment is. Now, the aim of the medication we give is to bring the pressure down.
Okay.
In my introduction, I had mentioned something about the pressure damaging the nerve at the back of the eye.
Right.
So the medication is to bring the pressure in the eye down. Bringing the pressure in the eye down either slows down or stops the progression.
Okay.
There's something we call the target pressure, and that's what the eye doctors aim at reaching. You compute a lot of things to decide what the target pressure of the individual is, and then you aim for the target pressure. At the target pressure, there should be no further progression. However, if there is further progression, you now rejig things and decide how else you can achieve the new target.
Indeed. Now, I want to focus more on the pressure now. What causes it?
Okay. Right. The eye is full of fluid. As we, day by day, fluid is produced, or hour by hour, minute by minute, fluid is produced inside the eye and drained out of the eye as a continuous thing.
Okay.
Now, as we get older, if sometimes due to trauma or other things, the drainage channels do not function very well. So the fluid is produced, it's not draining out, so the fluid is building up in the eye. And that's what we refer to as pressure. Now, with the buildup of fluid in the eye, it now damages the weakest structure in the eye. That's the optic nerve.
Oh.
So the buildup of fluid damages the optic nerve. So basically, treatment for glaucoma is all about increasing the drainage, either by medication, or laser, or surgery. Sometimes we also have medication that can suppress the production of the fluid.
The fluid.
Yes, but the main thing is to improve the outflow.
Which is more effective, surgery, laser, medication in taking care of glaucoma?
Right, that's a good question. To answer your question straight up, surgery, if successful, is the most effective. However, you must weigh the fact that surgery as well has a lot of side effects. That you have to consider. For example, having glaucoma surgery in blacks, you form a drainage channel in the eye. Because we are blacks, we have the advantage of healing very quickly. Unfortunately for glaucoma, that's a negative because we form a channel and then we heal quickly, the channel closes. Yes. That's right. So the important thing there is we also give some medication at the time of surgery to try and prolong the success or the outcome of the surgery. So answering your question, surgery is most effective. There are lots of side effects or a lot of possible side effects from surgery. So we need to weigh this before advising on surgery.
Now, I'm going to come to you in a moment, but let's see if we can get Lagos to join this conversation this morning. 0700 993 993 993. We're streaming on Facebook and YouTube as we speak. You can drop your comments there as well. We'll take them as we get them, or just send your thought via WhatsApp. The WhatsApp number is 0809 597 5805. That is 0809 597 5805. Today is World Sight Day, and we are talking about our vision, our sight. Doc, so a lot of people are calling me now, but I need to chip this in. What is the rate of blindness that we have currently? Do you have any updated figure on it? Is it increasing? Has it dropped?
Okay, it's increasing by the year because we're getting the life expectancy is increasing as well. So the rate of blindness is increasing, and the awareness as well is not. I mean, we could sit here in an urban city, and say, okay, yes. I mean, a lot of people are aware of the eyes. They have eye tests. They see eye hospitals or eye clinics all over the place. But go to some rural areas. I remember about 10, 12 years ago, I went for an outreach in a state outside Lagos. And we got there the first day. It's a 5-day outreach. There were about 250 people waiting for us in front of the eye department.
250?
Yes. The second day, it was raining cats and dogs, and there were at least 500 people waiting. There were at least 500 people waiting for us whilst it was raining. So there's a big divide between what goes on in urban areas and rural areas.
It's quite scary. Let's go to the phone lines and take some thought in this morning. Hello, good morning to you.
Hello?
Good morning to you.
Morning, Sheriff.
Good morning.
Adegoke from Lekki.
Good to have you.
Yeah, morning, doctor. Yeah, hello?
Go on, Adegoke.
Okay, yeah, I was diagnosed for cataract and glaucoma through 2012. And I had surgery in the right eye. And 2 years down the line, cataract appeared on the left eye too. Yeah. So, but I've not had surgery in the left eye for some years now, And basically, because I was really not convinced of having the surgery, because the first surgery I had was actually in a private hospital, and it was successful, but the lens that was used basically was more like a reflective lens, so I used to have issues with lighting at night, basically. So I want to ask the doctor too, can that be, is there any way one can manage that? Maybe at night, the reflection of light and all that. Then,
all right.
Then also if surgery is not done for a long time with cataract, although you explained some things about the effect and all that.
Right.
What other effect does it have? And then glaucoma also. Is it only eye drops that can actually manage this? Can only eye drops manage glaucoma?
Okay. All right. Thank you, Doctor.
Right. So, first of all, I didn't get your age. However, I'll just talk in general terms. You have some types of cataracts that cause glare. Yes, basically cataracts reduce your vision, but there are some particular types of cataracts that cause glare. We call that a posterior subcapsular cataract. I don't want to be technical. Then there's also, you've had cataract surgery, you've had a lens put in, and then you get some thickness of the membrane that the lens is resting on. That can also cause glare. So you have two reasons why you may have glare. Okay. One is from the eye with the cataract, and one is from the other eye. So I think you should go to an ophthalmologist, have an eye test, and see what can be done about your case in particular.
Right.
And like I had said before, glaucoma, you have medication, laser, and surgery.
Fantastic. Let's bring up another caller very quickly. We're preparing one already here, so I'm just gonna try and see if we can squeeze in that caller before I ask my question. Doctor, my question has to do with Gary. I know. Well, let's bring Chemika here. Chemika, good morning to you.
Good morning.
Good morning to you.
Yeah, good morning. Please, I want to tell you that there's a surgeon with you there.
Yes, go on, Chemika. We're listening to you.
Yes. Please, I have a blockage on one of my eyes. I cannot see very well. But I want to listen optician. And I was told that it is not glaucoma, it is not cataract. But it's just whether it is a cyst. But the eyes is shining inside. But I cannot see with
it's shining inside.
Yeah, but I cannot see with the right eye.
Doc, do you understand what he's saying?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay, Chemika, just hang up. Let's let the doc respond to that.
Okay, we had mentioned that cataracts and glaucoma were the first two common causes of problems with the vision. But we have many, many, many others.
Oh.
Okay, yes. There is a condition called macular degeneration. Now, if you remember in those days when we buy a camera, we buy a film and load the film in the camera. The macula is equivalent to the film of the camera we used to have in those days. So if you had a poor film, you get poor images.
True.
So in macular degeneration, you lose most of your central vision because your macula or your retina is not functioning very well. You could also have, complications of systemic problems, i.e., if you have diabetes, it could cause complications at the back of your eye. Okay. If you have hypertension, it could cause complications at the back of your eye. If you have some forms of inflammatory conditions, they could cause complications in the eye as well. So there are many, many, many other causes of visual problems. So you need to get yourself tested and ask specifically what is causing the blindness.
Is any of these hereditary?
Yes, there are a lot of hereditary conditions. If you have glaucoma in the family, remember I had said that.
Yes, you mentioned that.
Yes, you're about 4 times more likely to get it than somebody who doesn't have glaucoma in the family.
Oh.
It doesn't mean you'll get it.
Okay.
It just increases your chances.
Okay.
So that's hereditary.
Okay.
There are some types of cataracts that are hereditary. There are other hereditary conditions, like hereditary conditions of the retina.
Is macular degeneration, is it hereditary?
That is hereditary. It could be hereditary as well.
Okay.
There are some external factors like smoking that could cause more problems with retinal degeneration.
Okay.
But macular degeneration could be hereditary as well.
Oh, wow. Okay. Let's talk about Gary.
Okay.
Talk to us about that. How does it affect vision?
Okay, fine. Now, the favoritely or frequently asked questions are about Gary and carrots.
Yeah, exactly.
Now, let's talk about Gary. Now, the optic nerve, we go to the optic nerve.
Okay.
Okay. Now, Gary, if you look at the consonants of Gary and everything, they would say, okay, when you make Gary, if it's not done properly, you could have cyanide and things like that. Eating Gary alone will not affect your eyes. No. People who are nutritionally deficient,
okay,
and all they do is take Gary without any oil, just gari. Those are the people that could have problems.
If you like soaking gari a lot,
that's fine. As long as you have a balanced diet, otherwise, you are taking fruits, you are taking vegetables.
Okay.
You have oil in our diet is so rich in
yes,
oil.
it is.
And oil is
is
a big source of vitamin A, which carrots help as well.
Okay.
So we have so many things in our diet that will prevent us from getting problems with the optic nerve. So if you're someone who eats gari once a day for years, as long as the rest of the diet is balanced.
I mean, you have rich vegetable, fish, everything, meat, everything inside it.
It won't cause you problems.
But if you're someone who soaks gari with groundnut, that's another one. Groundnut, eating groundnut. I've heard that a lot. Does it affect the sight?
Groundnuts are famous for causing allergies, okay? However, even if you soak gari and groundnuts, as long as the rest of your meals are balanced, you still take our oil-rich foods, vegetables, things like that. It won't cause any problems.
All right, let's get back. I hope that is clear. Let's get back to the telephone. Oh, I think we lost that person. He's been waiting for a while. Hello, good morning to you.
Hello.
Good morning.
Good morning. I appreciate the fact that the doctor is here this morning, and we are talking about some things that affect the eyes, like cataracts and glaucoma. I want to ask if your parents gave birth to you before contacting that, is it possible for that child to inherit that?
If you were born before they developed their eye problem.
Yes.
Okay. All right. Thanks for calling. Doc?
Okay. Like I said, if the problem is cataracts, right, they probably developed it before getting old. And our prayer is for all of us to get old. So our prayer then indirectly is that we're praying that we will reach the age where we get cataracts. So it's nothing about hereditary.
Okay.
If that was the situation. For something like glaucoma, they probably get it as they go older, 40, 50, 60, 70 years old. And you probably have been born by that time.
Okay.
So if they develop glaucoma, it's somewhere within your genes that might make you likely to develop glaucoma.
Okay.
Not compulsorily, but likely to develop glaucoma. So there is some hereditary component. And there are some, like I said, there are some children who are born straight away with cataracts. It could be hereditary, or it could be from medication the mother used during pregnancy.
During pregnancy. All right. Okay. I have callers here, but I'm tempted to ask my question. Let's just skip. Yeah, we lost that call. Hello, good morning to you.
Good morning. Sorry, I beg. Hello?
Good morning to you.
Thank God. Thank God. Seriously, Sheriff, you don't know how I need to answer this call. Seriously.
I know. Okay, doctor, let's talk to you.
Doctor, I have a problem, big problem. Right from my youth, from my eyes gave me problems from writing my exam. I went to.
How old are you now? How old are you?
Now.
Yes.
Now I'm 34.
Okay.
So I went to see an optician, and this woman told me, did some tests, asked me different questions with the board. She now said that it's astigmatism, something like that. Astigmatism.
Yes. Okay.
So she didn't really give me drugs for it or eye drop. She just did a glass. But that glass, I'm not using it. Even my external exams I do, this thing gives me problem. When I'm writing, I will see clearly. For a period of time, it will now fade. I will not say anything again. So I decided to stay with this thing like that. But if I'm doing any other thing, I don't. It's when it comes to writing something or reading something.
Right.
In a period of time, it gets fade.
Right.
This thing I use it to get married. My wife said now have issue of her own too. Now we are going to General Hospital to treat before this COVID-19. Now she has not been going there. my children now, they are scratching their eyes. I don't know. In fact,
Calm down.
I'm
Just calm down.
children,
Calm
they
down.
are scratching their eyes.
Calm
every
down.
day.
Let
one
the doctor.
One is 3 years. One is 1 plus.
Okay.
Okay. Thank you.
All right. Let the doctor respond to it.
Right. Thank you. You've raised two very important questions, and I'm very happy you called. Very, very happy you called. The first thing is a group called Refractive Errors, and that means you can be helped by glasses, and the astigmatism they say you have is part of the refractive errors. There are 4 types of refractive errors mainly. One is people who are short-sighted. That means they see things well around them, but when they look in the distance, they can't see. That's short-sightedness or myopia. The second one is called long-sightedness. That means their distance vision is better than their near vision. The distance is better than their near. That's long-sightedness or hypermetropia. The third one is presbyopia. Most people, when we get around the age of 40, we start needing glasses to read. And that's because the lens in our eye is not as flexible as it used to be. It doesn't adapt and accommodate as it used to be.
Right.
So most people around the age of 40 start needing glasses to read. That's a natural thing, and that's called presbyopia. The fourth one, which is what you had asked me about, is astigmatism. Astigmatism simply states that the surface of your eye or the curvature of your eye is not 100% spherical or round. And what happens now, when you see something, instead of it being sharply in focus,
right,
it's a bit blurry. And that's what astigmatism is. Drops do not cure astigmatism. So that's why the optician didn't give you eye drops. Okay? And for astigmatism, you need glasses. When you put the glasses on, if they are the correct prescription, things will be sharp. When you take them off, they'll be back to what it was before. So the astigmatism will not disappear.
Oh, wow.
So that's about the refractive errors. Now, the next one about your children.
Yes.
Itching their eyes. It's what we call allergic conjunctivitis, which is one of the most common symptoms we have in the clinic. People are allergic to a lot of things, and in our environment, the most common things are dust and pollen.
Right. Doc, let me ask for a favor. Can you come back tomorrow? I'm clearing my schedule tomorrow. I have loads of calls here. I have loads of messages for you here. You know what? Yeah, at 8 o'clock tomorrow.
8 o'clock tomorrow is fine.
Okay, there you go, Lagos. Thank you, doctor. Loads of people here wanting to, they have one question or the other. So we would move the topic that we want to treat tomorrow to another day so that doctor can come in here tomorrow and have a conversation with us. Doc, thank you so much for joining us.
Could I suggest we sort of like get the text or them so that we just run through them?
Yeah. Okay, Doc. We'll do that. Lagos, we have to go now. Thank you so much for joining us today. Have a good morning. Bye for now.
Join Femi and the gang on the Fantasy Football Discuss live on Game On Tuesdays and Fridays on 99.3 Nigeria Info.
Are you looking for